you for joining the session. Kindly confirm, am I audible? If yes, please drop yes in the chat box. I repeat, kindly confirm, am I audible? Yeah, thank you so much for one of the response. Okay, right. So once again, thank you everyone for joining Logic Labs Technologies Windows Administration demo session. Okay, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Varun. Okay, my name is Varun. I hold 10 plus years of IT experience. And in this 10 plus years of IT experience, I have been with training for more than 7 plus years. So I have been as a corporate trainer, I've been as a system administrator, network administrator, and now I'm still a network administrator and system administrator. And now I'm going to train you this Windows administration in this batch. Okay, all right. Okay, yes. Got your questions? No worries. So we'll have a quick introduction and then I'll talk to all possible participants. I'll definitely speak to at least 2 to 3 participants now and 2 to 3 participants at the end of the session. Okay. All right. So for any questions, yes, you can keep your questions ready. I'm going to answer your questions. But before that, I'd like to show you something. Okay. All right. So this is our course information. And now you can see I would like to provide you the WhatsApp group link. So please click on this link and join our WhatsApp group so that you'll not miss any updates about this particular course. Okay, and also further updates from the Logic Labs Technologies. Right, so please join our WhatsApp group and then please also follow us on the social media platforms. These are all the various social media platforms. Okay, please confirm, am I audible? Is my voice okay? I repeat again. Okay, done. Thank you. All right. Okay, these are our social media channels. You can join to our social media channels. Now, I would like to have a quick introduction. If anyone wants to speak, you can raise your hands. You can raise your hands. Okay. Hello, Dinesh. You can unmute and you can speak to me. Hello, Dinesh.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes, now you're audible.
Yeah. Hi. So this is server 2016, right?
Yes.
So, but the latest version is 2022.
Yeah, 2022. Things will be the same. No
Things
worries.
will be
Yes, you can do the same perform the things on 16, 19, and 22 as well.
okay. Okay,
Okay,
fine.
so yes, I understand the market latest one is 22, but but yes, we have to understand one quick thing that in 2016 we can perform complete things. In 2022, all the companies might not have migrated to 22 yet.
Okay, okay,
Okay, so we'll be understanding 16 as well as most of the practicals will be done on 19 as well.
okay, sure, sure.
Okay,
But
all
it
right.
is valid, right?
Yes, it is absolutely valid. It is still licensed. Will
Okay.
still get updates for this 2000 server, 16 server.
Okay, because I saw that something like Microsoft is ending the server service for the 2016.
No, no, no.
Like
Still, no, we are still 2012 R2 is also working.
okay, okay,
2016
okay.
is next level. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Thank
Uh,
you.
yes. Okay. Others. Okay. So perfect questions. Yes. If you're raising your hands, I'll definitely provide you unmute option. Okay. So anyone wants to speak, you can raise your hand. I will provide you option, unmute option. Okay. Hello, Devesh. You can unmute now.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, so just I want to ask a simple question like as I gone through the course content and I seen like DSCP server. So
Yes.
for this kind of the concept, do we need to know Linux concepts?
And not necessarily required. Windows is, see, the theoretical concept is same either in Windows or Linux, but the practical performing or the platforms are different.
Okay, so Linux concepts not required for this course, right?
Not required. Not practically. Theoretically, both are same.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Done. Any other questions, Devish? Any other quick questions?
Not now.
Okay. Done. Done. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyone else would like to speak? Okay. All right. Mr. Bright, you can unmute.
Yeah, so for this training, we say it's Windows Server Administrator. Are we going to learn how to integrate device like maybe mess like the first thing, Teams, emails? Are we going to be integrating those into this training? Because when you are working as a system administrator, you should know how to integrate those devices like maybe Teams, or if you are using Teams within your institution, or you are using let's say maybe Zoom or your email. Are we going to do those things?
Yeah, I got your question, but initially we should understand the working process of our Windows server. So our major focus is about the working process of Windows Server, about how to configure it to run your administration. It means to run your environment, work environment. So I have given all the concepts in this syllabus about only that particular task. So integration part is not yet allowed here, because if you want to do integrations, then you have to understand about how the trust is built in between two different devices. At least that is one with your Windows server, other with your, if you are say, let's say Teams. There should be some trust in between this Windows server as well as that Teams application server. So we have to combine them, and then we have to show about how to integrate. But to do that, we should understand the environment of Windows. So in this, I am going to train you only about this administration content. Too, you are going to understand about Windows Server environment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So if you have any other questions, definitely I'll provide you option to speak. But as of now, I'll go ahead and I'll explain about our today's concept. Okay. So one last thing, Dinesh wants to speak. Okay. Yes, Dinesh, you're allowed to speak. You can unmute and you can speak.
Yeah, so thank you once again. And
Yeah.
so here I have a concern. It's like, so I'm very new for this.
I'm so sorry. I guess I lost your voice. Dinesh, you there? Okay. Meanwhile, one of the person asked, does networking knowledge required for this training? What will be preliminaries to join this class? Okay. No need to worry about networking, because I'll be training you basic network concepts wherever required. If you already hold some networking knowledge, that is so good. No need to worry if even if you don't have any networking knowledge, you don't need to worry because I'm there to help you. Okay, then Dinesh, would you like to speak or let me continue with the session? Okay, Dinesh, I'd like to give you time again after the content. Okay, now let's quickly jump on to our subject, that is Windows administration, Windows Server administration. This would be more familiar because in this session we are going to learn about Windows Server administration. So I'm going to teach you Windows Server administration. Windows Server administration. So basically, what do you mean by server? So if someone asks you, what is a server? So our answers would be very simple thing. Server is a computer. Yes, it is a computer, but let me call it as a machine. Let me call it as a machine. Even computer is called as a machine, so I'm calling server as a machine. So server is a machine which provides variety of services to the clients. To the clients. Server is a machine which provides variety of services to the clients. Now, who are the clients? Who are the clients? Who are the clients? Yes, clients are nothing but again the same thing. We have clients like computers. Our machines are itself the clients. So clients are nothing but computers. Next, we have something called as mobiles. And of course, users and others. There are many other devices which will be using the server services from the server. Okay, right. So today we are attending this session over Zoom. Zoom is an application. Okay, so we have installed our application in our client machine. So client machine is something like a computer, it is like a mobile, or it might be a web user, or it might be any other device. But Zoom itself is a server which is installed somewhere in their company. Okay, so from that server we are getting this service. We're getting this online connecting or online communicating service. Oh, I'm so sorry, Madhur. Is my voice low for everyone? Is my voice low for everyone? Okay, it's audible to everyone, right? Thank you. Okay, Madhur, I request you to check your audio connection. Audio connection once, please check your speaker settings. Okay, now you understood, right? Server. Now, this server can also be called as, just we are understanding, server can also be called as, server can also be called as a software system. It can also be called as a software system. Okay. Server can also be called as a software system. Software system. A software system that actually provides, again, we have used variety of services over there. So let me write something like that provides functionalities. That provides that provides functionalities to the users or to the clients. Let me write it as to the clients. Okay, a software system that provides functionalities to the clients. Okay, now you might ask me, what do you mean by this functionality? What do you mean by this functionality? It is something like storing files, accessing files, and making some devices centralized and everyone using the same centralized device, or else accessing or controlling all the devices or all the resources of the organization using one single machine. Okay, again, I received a message regarding the voice. Okay, please confirm. It's from Devesh as well as from Madhur. So, is it clear now? Or you want me to make some more settings for this? Is my voice clear? Okay, thank you, Devesh. And Madhur, I am waiting for your message. Okay, no worries. Let me continue here. Okay, now let's see what all the things server can handle. What all things server will handle. So here, let me write something like this. Server can handle, server can handle, basically on a computer, if you're doing some process, it is referred as a task. Okay, on a computer, if you're performing something, it is referred as a task. So server can handle various tasks, various tasks and various tasks such as the very first one is I'd like to take something very easy, or the things which we are using in our daily life. First thing is storing files. Example would be something like Google Drive, and next, gaming point. So let me write it as gaming apps. So one of the biggest gaming app is something like PUBG. It is also hosted on a particular server. So when it comes to hosting, so we can also host websites. Hosting websites. Next, someone asked me in the session that is about integration of emails. So it is about email communication. There are many more things very similar to, we have many more things. Okay, so we can store files, we can use gaming applications as well as other apps. Let me write it as gaming apps and other tech apps. It might be anything. Uh, it might be an application like LinkedIn, application like WhatsApp, or application like apart from social media, we have applications like news to get the news, channel-based updates. There are plenty of technical applications, something like Teams or something like Skype or something like Zoom, what we are using now, all these things. So a server can handle all these things. Okay, now we got the point, something called as Windows Server. Windows Server, as I referred just now, something like server is a software system. Okay, software system, or let me call it as an operating system. Okay, server uses an operating system. Server uses an operating system which is referred as, or which is referred as network operating system, which is referred as, I'm telling it as a network operating system. Network operating system. We might get it out. We are installing server, so we should call it as server operating system. But yes, we have operating system categories in only two ways. One is client operating system, the other one is network operating system. Inside network operating systems, we have various versions, and those versions are referred as server operating systems. Something like if we are discussing about Windows Server, we call it as Windows Server operating system. If you're using Windows 10 operating system. If you're using Linux that to CentOS, so Linux Cent operating system. Okay, Cent, it sends community enterprise operating system. Or if you're discussing about Ubuntu, so it is Ubuntu operating system. Okay, but basically the category comes into network operating system. Okay, I'm coming there with the question. Good question. Thank you. Okay, now what is operating system? So let me discuss about what is operating system. So I'm writing in short form because it should be easy for us. So operating system, what it is? Basically, it is an interface between a user and hardware peripherals. It is an interface between user and hardware peripherals. Okay, all the hardware devices you can see, because a computer doesn't understand human language directly. There should be a medium or a mediator. Now here in this case, the mediator here is the operating system. The mediator is operating system. Hope you got this point. It is an interface between user and hardware peripherals. Now we have some types in this operating system. So we got types in operating system. So let me mention it clearly, types of operating system. Okay, so we have two different types of operating systems. One is the one which just now we have used, network OS, and the second one is client OS. Okay, so network OS is designed. It is designed for providing services, and client OS, this is designed for client OS is designed for operations. I'm so sorry if the spellings are going wrong. Okay, so client OS is especially designed for operations, performing operations. Okay, as well as utilizing those services provided by the server. Okay, so in network operating system and client operating system, again we have multiple providers, multiple manufacturers. Let me say multiple manufacturers. So it is a software system or operating system. This is provided by some of the organizations. So I'm mentioning it as multiple manufacturers. Okay, so we have something like in the same types of OS, we have something like the behavior of OS. Behavior of operating system. So operating system behavior, it is that how you navigate inside the operating system or how you navigate these particular machines. So we have two types of behaviors. One is GUI, which is graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. And the second one is we have something called as CLI, which is command line interface. Graphical user interface as well as command line interface. Okay, so we have server availability or network operating system availability in both of these particular behaviors. Okay, I got your questions, Nitish. I'll definitely answer you. Okay, so right now let's see something about this particular operating systems. So now let's quickly see. We got two manufacturers of this operating system. So we will take the operating systems. we will take the operating systems. So I'll just take this something like list of operating systems. List of operating systems. Okay, all right. List of operating system. The first one is from Windows. If I'm taking Windows, so it would be Windows. So it has got multiple versions in Windows. Windows started its server from Windows 2000. So it was a very old operating system, followed by 2003. This was the most successful operating system, 2003, a very long time back. So later on, 2008, and then comes 2012, and then comes 2012 R2. Okay, 2012 R2. So right now till 2012, Windows 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012 is completely stopped. Okay, so updates have been stopped. Windows have provided, Microsoft is the organization which has stopped providing updates till Windows 2012. And the people who are in 2012 R2 are still getting updates, and they have very less time left, so that they can migrate to the next version of operating system. And the next version of operating system is 2016. And yes, we got one more thing, 2019, and very recently another operating system release, that is 2022. So in this, we are going to learn 2016, so that we will learn full-fledged about the operating system, and what's new in 2019 and what's new in 2022 can be easily understood. So if I directly start from 22, you will not experience the previous things. So why did they upgrade to 2009, or why did they upgrade to 2022 will not be known to us. That's the only reason we are learning the previous version, and we are understanding what is new in 2019 and what is new in 2022. Okay, so we got Windows list here and Linux. So if I say about Linux, so Linux basically an open source operating system, but yes, there are plenty of flavors in Linux. Okay, in Windows we call them as versions, and in Linux we call them as flavors. So Linux OS, something like Community Enterprise Operating System, which is called as CentOS. And then we have something called as Ubuntu, and we have something called as Red Hat, and other providers. We have something like Debian. Yeah, many more flavors we have. Okay, SUSE Linux. There are many more things. So I just wrote what all things I got here. So these are the different flavors. So in Windows, we're going to understand about 2016 server. Okay, so just second team. Okay, all right. So now that we entered into this Windows Server 2016, let us see what all the things we are going to experience in this course. Okay, so let me go to the syllabus page. So on our website, if you go to Logic Labs Technologies, logiclabstech.com, you can see upcoming batches in which you can experience this particular page. And batch number 278, this is Windows administration. And at the last point, at the corner, at the right corner, you can see course content. When you click on the course content, you can come here. As we are here, I can also tell you that you can connect to our WhatsApp using this option. If there is some of your friends wants to register for demo, they can click on this, or if you want to buy this course, you can click on this buy now option. Okay, all right. Now in this, I'm going to show you about what all things we are going to understand. So I have given all the things here, what all things we are going to do. This is the content of the course. So first one is installation. Deploying is nothing but installation. So installing of Windows Server 2016. Then comes, we'll quickly go to one of the biggest administration service running in almost all Windows-based companies. All Windows-based companies. Okay, so that is called as ADDS. That is Active Directory. If you are familiar with that, we call it as Active Directory. Okay, sorry, 1 second team, just second please. Okay, right. So the second one is Active Directory, which we're going to understand one of the biggest service used in almost all Windows, okay, almost all Windows based companies. So company which is using Windows environment, they will use Active Directory. And next one is we have to understand something about DHCP server. So when we have got multiple computers inside the company, so there should be some source from any of the service to provide IP addresses or identities for all the available resources. And how we are going to do using a server, we'll be learning in this DHCP. And for the people who don't understand about any sort of, who don't have any sort of network basics, I will teach you in IP access management. Okay, Internet Protocol Access Management, IPAM. Okay, then I'll make you to introduce about file services and print services. File and print services, these are the services which are by default available in all the Windows environment. Next, about how to take backup and how to restore the backup. Okay, next, WDS, Windows Deployment Services, how we are installing applications on each and every computer. So if there are 1,000 computers, the users or the Windows admin guy cannot install an application individually in every machine. If he is doing so, it is going to take a long time. So that's the reason using this particular active Windows Server or AD content, we can directly install application in all the connected machines at a time by deploying this WDS. Okay, similarly, WDS, and then we can see about update service. Update service. Okay, and next comes Windows Server virtualization. Windows Server virtualization. Okay, how we can do a sort of virtualization, or if there is a huge hardware, if there is a rack server with huge configuration, how we are going to split it using the virtualization. Okay, right. Next comes, again, I have shown you file and print services here. Here we are going to explore only about file service. It means there is something more to learn apart from this implementation. And how to upgrade of your server operating system. As we see, 2016 is next 2016 is the next version of 2012 R2. So if you want to upgrade your server, how you're going to do? Yes, we'll be seeing that. And how you're going to access your server remotely if you're not here. If you want to access it from somewhere else in some different location, then obviously you're going to use remote access. Nowadays, everyone knows about this remote control, but still the remote process started long back in Windows environment. So we're going to experience that. And then we'll be seeing about Windows clustering and something about DNS. All these things are name resolution, name server, DNS comes under the same thing. Okay. And next we can see conditional forwarders, then log management. Okay. So I guess this is repeated. Backup and restore is repeated. So sorry. Log management, backup and restore. Then we'll see about Active Directory protocols, installations, roles, group policies, sites and replication, users and computers, and other infrastructure. Most of the LDAP infrastructure will be learnt in this particular Active Directory. Okay, so all these things. Okay, and then I'll show you about some of the basic PowerShell commands, not complete basic PowerShell, I'm going to show you some basic PowerShell commands and then a migration of Active Directory from one machine to another machine. Yes. And protocols, I'll also make you to introduce about IIS, the same web server. And these are all things about IIS, all the last 5 things about IIS. And finally, configuration files restoration, backing up and restoring of these configuration files. Okay, so this will be our course content and we are going to perform these practicals on VMware Workstation, a software called VMware Workstation. And yes, all the things what all here are available will be practically shown to you. Okay, will be practically shown to you and you should also practice all the things. Yes, I got one question from one of the person. These concepts will help us to understand the Azure or other clouds in future. Yes, obviously. So if you're going to Azure platform or if you're going to any of the cloud, administration is the basic one. Administration is the basic concept. So to do administration, if you have this particular knowledge, then that particular subject is going to be very easy for you. Okay. Here I am not showing you any of the server hardware. I'm explaining you or I'm teaching you only about the software operating system. So there is no hardware involved here. Even if you go to cloud, there is no hardware involved. So you can perform all the actions, but yes, you will understand it without what we say. If you go to AWS or if you go to Azure, if you go to cloud, any of the cloud platforms, you will understand the administration part, even if you don't know anything about cloud. Okay, if you're learning this, then it would be more than enough. It would be very easy for you to upgrade to cloud administration. But even after going to cloud, when you're taking a machine, you have to install an operating system. Again, it might be a Windows server or it might be Linux server. So Windows server is useful on premise as well as in a data center. Okay. All right, some more questions. Okay, so one of the question from one of the user, that is, can we do some daily tasks on network OS as we do on user operating system? Yes, basically, if you are into Windows Server administration, you will not do any task. Actually, you will provide service to the users. So we'll make or we will create services for the users. We will provide services to the users. Some users want, or else some users logging into their web have some trouble. Yes, we'll be working on that particular issue. Okay, and something like installation, apps, calculation, etc. We are not going to do all those things. We are going to just administer. Yes, if something required for installation, definitely we're going to do. Okay, if there is an accounts team, just assume if there is an accounts team. So accounts team works on their particular software. Let me say something called as Tally. Tally is an operating system. Sorry, Tally is a software, application software. So it has to be hosted on the server, and using this particular server, other users will use this application. If they have any problem in connecting between user and server, then definitely we're going to work on that. Okay, of course, we'll install this Tally server application on the server and we will provide it to the users as well. So users will automatically connect to that particular application. Okay, and yes, there is one practical in our syllabus where we are going to do the same thing. We will create one application, we will install it on the server, and of course, I will install it on my available global server, and all the other people from all the other listeners, all the other participants can use it from your machines. That would be for temporary, only for that particular class. I want to show you something into real. Okay, next question. Okay, a question, very good question. On premise. On premises is within your office. If a server, physical server is, if it is located inside your office, we call it as on premise. Okay, if it is located somewhere else and if you are in some different location, then we call it as remote connection. Okay. Oh, that's a big question, Devesh. So you're fresher. So after this course, how much experience you can use? So you're fresher. So how come experience comes here? Okay. Devesh, let me go to one more topic and then definitely I'll come back to you. The last 10 minutes would be question session. You can ask me questions. So before going forward, so let me complete this syllabus and then we will understand here. Okay. So as I told you, all the practicals will be performed on VMware Workstation. So software we use, or let me call it as application. Application we use to perform a labs. So this is VMware Workstation. Okay, I'll provide you the link or the application which we can download on your machine. So VMware Workstation, and yes, your PC should be with a minimum configuration so that when we are using VMware Workstation, it is going to take more space of your hardware. Okay, so of course it is going to take virtual hardware, but still it is going to use more of your virtual hardware. Okay, so this VMware Workstation is a software on which we are performing all the labs. Okay, all right. So VMware Workstation will be our application, and the other application we use is called as VirtualBox. For some of the concepts or for some of the practicals, we require multiple devices. We require multiple devices. Let me say multiple servers. So at the time, I cannot make one machine as multiple machines. So I'll create some virtual environments where we will be using that particular practicals. So which is called as VirtualBox. Okay, VirtualBox. And yes, there is one more concept here. So here to see this particular outputs, yes, to see some of the outputs, what we're going to do is we are going to use. Okay, so these are the applications. So I'm going to show you some application called as T. Okay, first few things just to compare between Windows and Linux environment. We are going to install a software called as PuTTY, and then through this PuTTY, we are going to access the command line interface. Okay, all right. The next one, the next thing what we have to understand here is, okay, so I would like to announce something here. Okay, again, I would like to repeat something like first 4 sessions will be free. First 4 sessions will be free to attend, and on 5th session, Zoom meeting will be shared to registered participants only, and this link will be expired. So this is what I have to tell you because 4 sessions are free. So what I am going to teach in these 4 sessions? Today is the very first session where we have gone through only with the content flow. So what all the contents we are going to see? We have seen only the basic content flow. Okay, we did not see any more things. All these are the basic informations. Okay, and in tomorrow's session, I am going to show you about how to install Windows Server on VMware Workstation application. It means we are going to see two practicals. One is installing VMware and other one is installing an operating system inside the VMware. Okay, I am using Windows 10 operating system on my machine. On the same machine, I'll install VMware Workstation software on top of the on top of VMware Workstation. I'm going to install Windows Server 2016. So that would be our session for tomorrow. Okay, so hope this is clear for everyone. Now I'd like to provide time for you to speak. So there are a few participants who wants to speak. Okay, so Devesh, you want to speak? I am providing you the permission. You can unmute yourself and you can speak to me.
Hello, sir. Actually, from the as a freshers, I was on campus was happened to me, and I was supporting kind of job right now I am having. So that's why I called as a fresher. But after learning this course, how many of experience I can put with this? That is what my doubt is.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I cannot guide you in a wrong way. Because once you learn this subject, you will, yes, you'll get good knowledge on the subject. But if you're working on this particular server, that is, if you get an opportunity to work on server, then only you'll gain some experience.
Okay. So
Okay.
sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes in the company I'm seeing like some pen drives are not detecting or any software, so we need to approach to the networking people or any kind of the things we need to take the permission from the networking team. So these kind of restrictions are we going to see in this course, like how we are providing the restrictions for all that kind of things?
Perfect. Perfect.
Sometimes.
Yes, I got your point. Yes, what you said is absolutely right, but that is a very small thing what you have experienced, something like providing basic permissions. That can be done on Windows client OS as well. But using server, we are going to administer. We're going to administer. Okay. Something like, let me say something like about your college. So every day inside a college, a teacher or a professor will teach you something. Okay. But there is an administration inside this college who will maintain the entire college. So they will decide the timetable or schedule for each and every classroom, each and every employee, each and every student. So they will provide all the schedules and they'll make each and every student to write exams, prepare for exams, and they'll divide the syllabus into particular dates so that it will be finished in that particular time. Okay. So all this thing is called as administration. So among them, one of the small thing is writing a test inside your classroom. Okay. Similarly, here also, just providing basic permissions to your computer for some restrictions is a very, very, very formal thing. Apart from that, there are many more things to do in the server.
Okay, so right now I am having the laptop with of my office laptop. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
any external, because in my office laptop, some external softwares is restricted to install by
Yes,
myself.
yes, exactly.
So are you going to provide any some extra software for learning this course? Means any software
No,
we have to install?
yes, I'll be providing this VMware workstation software, but yes, you're not supposed to install this software in your company laptops. It is for everyone. I am just informing everyone. We are not supposed to install this particular VMware software in any of the company or organization laptops. Office laptops will not allow you to install this software. So I recommend each and everyone to use your personal laptops for this learning.
Okay, so VMware is a prerequisite for this one to learning.
Yes, exactly, exactly. It is an application. It is a practical platform for us.
Okay, 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 then I got it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else would like to speak? Or anyone, any questions from anyone? Anyone would like to speak? You can raise your hand. Yes. Yes, Bright Better. You can unmute and you can
Yeah,
speak.
so most of the things you talk about is installation of most of those services or what have you. When it comes to, because most of the institution that you are going to join, all of those services will already be maybe installed and ready. One of the main thing that they will need from you as administrator is how to troubleshoot those things. Do you have a plan to, I mean, show us some of those troubleshooting you've been doing as an administrator? And because that is going to help us, because if you go to take interview, they're not going to be asking you how to install, most of the questions will come around troubleshooting. What are you planning towards troubleshooting? I mean, to make troubleshooting part of this training, because if we just learn how to install, it's not going to help us when we actually get on the field.
Yes, I got your point, but without knowing anything about how to start the process, how can you learn about troubleshooting? So if you're well and good in this concept, if you know something about DHCP, you should install DHCP, you should know about how to work with DHCP, then only you'll understand what is the problem. If there is any troubleshoot required, you should understand the problem. We have to analyze the problem. To analyze the problem, we should know each and everything about DHCP server. So as I'm teaching this Windows Server administration, so I will start from the installation part. See, if I say something that in DHCP, if there is a problem, I cannot create a problem. But yes, I can create a DHCP server. So I will start in teaching installation from the installation, then working on DHCP. And yes, some of the major things can be again the same thing. Major things can be explained as the troubleshoots, because from past 10 plus years or for past 13 years, I am on this Windows server. So I have seen multiple things or multiple problems, and I have troubleshooted variety of problems, but we cannot create a problem here. Okay, got the point. We cannot create a problem. Yes, I can share my experience. So while performing about something, while performing some actions or some practical on DHCP, I might, or else I can share you plenty of troubleshoots or plenty of things, but I can share, I cannot show you. If I need to show you, I have to create that problem. Unfortunately, we cannot create a problem here. The problems will be created by the machines, and those are resolved by the administrators. Yeah, I'm getting some questions. Yes, Nitish, you can install. Okay. All right. Bright, your question is clear?
Yeah, so will you share some of those troubleshooting with us? I mean, just to
Yes, while performing the same installation, you can in the same way you can ask me, and definitely I'll be sharing. Okay, I'll
All right.
keep on sharing. Don't worry.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and some other questions here. I can see some other questions, something like DHCP, ADDS. Don't worry about the Kaza Raiman. So no need to worry about those things, because way more to go. We have to learn all these things. So we'll be learning in the topic days. Okay, the question is, I have admin rights in my office laptop. Okay, if your office doesn't have any problem to install third-party softwares, then you can go ahead and you can install, Nitish. Okay, all right. So I see all the questions are cleared. Okay, so now I would like to got it. All right, so all the questions are cleared here, and no questions on chat box as well as on the mic. Salman, good question, but so sorry, I didn't get you about this. Okay, let's see how I can tell you about on that particular point, because I am not supposed to encourage this kind of things, because it might help you as of now, but definitely going further it might not. Okay, Uday Kumar wants to, sorry, Udaya Kumar, sorry. Yes, you're allowed to speak. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm expecting from hardware RAID concepts. So, are you going to cover it?
Hardware concepts.
Yeah. For this level?
Hardware means you want to
Like
learn something about.
RAID levels, like that.
Okay, somewhere in data recovery or data protection, you'll get that RAID option.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll understand that particular RAID option, but not in full terms. Of course, I'll be showing you RAID 0, 1, and 5. Okay, by manual entries. Let me say something like, I will add a manual entry data and I will delete it, and how we can pull it out, we'll be seeing that. A basic text file or something like that. Okay, not into bigger files, because right, if I do bigger files, then my laptop will not support.
Hmm.
For that, I require a physical server again.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're looking something for ID rack settings, then it would be difficult, because we don't have a physical server.
Okay.
If I have a physical server, yes, I have a physical server. I can show you on my physical server, but I cannot show it to you, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to ID rack, I cannot make any remote settings for that. But still, yes, I can show you a remote machine, remote ID rack settings, but I cannot show you the hardware. What is the RAM or how to place a RAM? All those things cannot be
Hmm.
shown. Okay, but
Okay.
basic understanding of this hardware or navigation through hardware can be done.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, any other questions? And Job reference. Yes, Dinesh, you can please get connected to our WhatsApp. You can join in this WhatsApp group, and also please connect it to all our social media channels so that whenever there is an opening, it will be open for each and every candidate. Right? So it will be informed. So we'll be posting you all those things whenever there is an opening or whenever there is a requirement for this particular course, or it might be for another course, or it might be anything happening inside Logic Labs Technologies will be posted. Okay. So I guess your question is clear, Uday Kumar. All right.
Yes, I had another question.
Yeah, please.
So are you going to cover any audit or monitoring tool for UAD?
No. I'm not going to cover any sort of auditing or monitoring tools because there will not be any data in my server. So it would be a fresh piece, right?
Yeah.
So there will not be any chance of monitoring here.
So what about the GPO concepts?
Of course, again, if I need to explain about GPU concepts, then again I require a physical server. But still, yes, that's the only reason I mentioned here, right? Some of the gaming apps where we require GPUs. So hardware, GPU is totally about hardware. Okay, so after installing it, we have to add it, and then we have to use that particular GPU here. You know, for one single hardware, it will be only one single GPU. Okay, as of now,
Not GPU, it is a group policy object.
oh, you are asking about GPO. Yes, GPOs will be covered. That is what is mentioned in the contents. Group policies will be provided. Active Directory contents will be provided. All the Active Directory. You'll be working with organization units as well as GPO, group policy objects. We'll be seeing about GP editors as well. Okay. All right. So I guess your question is clear.
Yeah. So I have one more question. Sorry. So are you going to cover semantic endpoint protection?
See,
Which is major one?
I understand your point, Udaya Kumar. The very first thing is, firstly, we are understanding the administration part. So we'll go step by step. So if I am installing an antivirus inside that end-to-end point in that, it is not going to be the application here. That would be covered in a Windows client user operating system. So if you're going for server, yes, there will be some applications. It might not be exactly the same semantic operating system, what you said, semantic application software, what you said. Okay. Yes, in between, if you're asking me something like that, and if there is an availability of that particular software for us for trial version, definitely we're going to do it. Okay. If you want me to something, if you want me to show something about that particular antivirus, definitely I'm here to support you. If that is available for trial version, definitely we'll install. But most of the times on Windows Server, if you're installing something, it should be that product should be a licensed product. Okay, so here we'll in the starting stage only we'll understand about the licensing of Windows Server. So how Microsoft gets money from this by selling this Windows operating system, you'll understand. Okay, so I guess Uday Kumar, you might hold some experience on hardware, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, so I guess that's clear for everyone. And any other questions, anyone? Any other questions? Okay, so I'll be telling you about this particular certification thing in the next session. But for today's session, okay, this is all thing for today's session. About certifications or licenses, I'll be telling you in the next day's concept. Okay, right. So that's okay. That's all for today's session. Thank you all. Okay, which, sorry, Dinesh has a question. I'd like to provide permission to Dinesh. Yes, Dinesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Arun. So Arun, so I have a concern like, so I have, earlier I know about this MCSA certification, okay? And so now the Windows administration course, what you're providing, this syllabus will covers the same or how it is?
Okay, the same thing I told you, that will be covered, that will be explained in tomorrow's session, the difference between
Okay.
FCSA and what is the server which we are doing, and what
Okay.
certification comes under this Windows server, as well as the certification paper codes, all things will be provided to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. Have a nice day again. Have a nice day all. We'll meet again tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. IST.
Thank you.
Most welcome.